All good.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay, so guys, Neelam, Seema, Maheep, Bhavana, welcome to Sunrise. I think the show has really kicked off absolutely fabulously here in the UK. Everyone has loved it here so much. So well done and congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling about it all? I'm going to throw this question to all of you. How's it been now that you've soaked in all the feedback so far?
Just loving it.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
We didn't expect this. It's just been really amazing.
Really nice. Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad. And Maheep, I mean, like for you, I think you in the show, I think you kicked it off really nicely, being in Paris, Le Bon with Shania. I think that was a really nice start to the show. So tell me, how has your entire family taken it for you?
You know, initially, I think forget about the family. I needed to come on board mentally, exposing my life, exposing your home, your children, you know, being put up for judgment. So that I had to come to terms with myself, you know, first. Then, of course, the first thing was my children and my husband. If they weren't going to be on board about this and they weren't going to be comfortable with this, there was no ways I was going to do it. But Shania and Jahan were amazing. Shania said, you have to do this. I mean, it's life is short. You have to live the adventure. You're doing it with your best friends. How difficult can it be? And, you know, you will have stories to tell. And Jahan was just like, listen, Mom, you don't say no to Netflix and dramatics. And Sanjay basically wanted to tell me the tough side to it, you know. Hypothetically, if the show didn't do well, are they going to make fun of us? You know, I needed to grow a little bit of thick skin. So I think he was just trying to safeguard me. But he said, listen, you're in good hands with Netflix and dramatics. So once they were on board and they've taken it well and they were excited about the whole thing, it was all fine. It all fell into place.
Do you feel that there is something about being a Bollywood wife that's often misunderstood, maybe?
Many things that are misunderstood. That we are lazy women who just do nothing and we live off our husband's name and all. And that is so contrary to every wife out there, whether it is all of us who are working and been working for years. Gauri, Twinkle, I mean, you name the wives out there. They are married to these superstars, Gauri and Twinkle I'm talking about. They're not overshadowed by these men. They hold their own. They're working women, and I have tremendous respect for them. So
and I think we all. The thing is with this show, because it came with the whole glamour thing, I think everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be like so much fun, and it's going to just be like a little breeze in the park." But I think what people didn't understand, that you guys are actually working. It's not just about, you know, being the Bollywood wife or having just like really nice clothes to wear and like jewelry and going out to parties. I think what we saw at the end of it, it was actually, you know what, these guys do work and they are very normal and they're equally protective about their family. They're equally stressed about things that, you know, like a normal person would be stressed out about as well. And I think that was one of the beauties of the show as well, which was really nice. Seema, coming over to you, you were very open with how you and Sohail stand. And I think a lot of people didn't know that. And a lot of women may have connected with you on that as well. How do you feel about that reaction that you got?
Look, so when I knew this question was going to be thrown at me, and there were only two ways I could take it. Either I'd pretend or I'd tell the absolute truth. So I live by that. I mean, you know, you can only pretend for so long, but it's not something that comes easily to me. In fact, I think I have the opposite problem. I share too much. Sometimes I need to hold back because just that's the way I am. But I said it like it was. It's the honest truth. That is, it is what it is. And I think I'm quite surprised with the feedback because I think a lot of women don't know how to say it. They probably, I don't know if they live it. I can speak for myself, but they don't know how to say it. So on that level, they connected with me. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty overwhelmed with the whole response and the whole, to me, like, oh, you're so honest and, you spoke the truth, but I don't know it any other way. So for me, that was like a revelation also for so many women to reach out, and it was really heartwarming.
For sure. And I think, like you just said, honesty, I think that's what the entire show was based on, really. Like 25 years of friendship. Like the bad days, the good days, it was all there. We saw it all. And that's exactly what happens normally. Like in real life, that's exactly what happens. So I think that was really nice for you to bring that out in the show. And I think maybe a lot of other women will now also, instead of hiding something like that, they will also speak about it as well. So I think that was really nice. Now, Bhavana, coming over to you, what would you say is the best bit of advice that your kids gave you, and as a mother that you really took on board?
So I think, to start with, I would say I was in a similar position like Maheep in the beginning. I was a little apprehensive. I wasn't sure if I want to put myself out there. Mm-hmm. But both my girls, Ananya and Raisa, and my husband, Chunky, and my parents were like completely encouraging. They were like, you must do it. And even we had a lot of discussions, the four of us amongst each other. And I realized this was the best way to do it. I was going to be working with my friends. I was going to be having a blast. And so I took the plunge. And plus, of course, there's Dharmatics and Netflix involved. And they were extremely sensitive, to the very fact that where we come from, who we are married to, us being moms, things like that. And I think we all put our best foot forward. As far as my kids are concerned, I mean, today, I'm happy about one thing because they don't have to say, oh my God, is that my mom? No, they have to say like, wow, that's my mom. So, that really makes me happy. And I think they've all taken it very well. My parents, my kids, my husband, my friends, everyone. So it's been a fabulous experience. And I'm just so happy I did it.
I'm so glad. And Neelam, moving on to you, and I'm sure you've had this question many a times. The entire fillers, Botox thing that you did, and I think that was very courageous of you to do. Only courageous in the sense only because, like, I don't know why it's frowned upon or people don't talk about it. So I think for you to come out and actually show that in the episode and in a way that you did it in a very graceful manner, was that a conscious decision for you?
Well, look, well, thank you. It was courageous. And yes, women don't like to disclose these things, and they don't want to come out in the open and tell people that, yes, I do Botox. I do get fillers done. And my whole thing, and it's, I mean, I stick to this. Why not? I just feel that, to put the message out there that there's nothing wrong with it, even if you are doing it. And I just felt that I know how much pressure I put on myself before facing the camera. I mean, I drove everyone bananas, my makeup artist, the cameraman. I actually bribed the cameraman a little bit. I said, you got to make me look good. And only I know, when a woman ages, and it's also at 50, it's very difficult, premenopausal and whatever. But so it crossed my mind, and I've been wanting to do it since about 2-3 years, but I've never had the courage and I've never had the guts. So finally I did decide, and I told the creative team, I said, look, I'm going ahead and doing this. Do you guys want to film it? And they just jumped on it. They said, we're not gonna lose this opportunity. They grabbed it. Yeah, I mean, I have had people coming up to me and saying that, like, even my close friends, why did you have to do it? Why tell people that you're doing this? I just feel that, it's not like I'm doing a facelift. It's just Botox and it's just fillers. It's not really a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. So I just feel there's nothing wrong with it, and why not?
And I think, Bhavana, you're like the opposite end of the spectrum. You're all about the earth energy. I mean, does that work? Does it actually work? Have you seen a difference?
Yes, I've seen a difference. These girls may laugh, but I've definitely seen a difference. My pigmentation has become better, much better.
Yeah.
And I've honestly not really used anything else. It's also, I think what shows on your face is what you feel inside. It's a lot to do with that as well. So I think whatever makes you feel happy, makes you feel good, makes you feel confident, it always radiate on your face somewhere. So
For
I
sure.
believe in that. And even, like Neelam said, I had there are a lot of people who laughed at it. And there were a lot of people who also said that, we understand that, we connect with that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I am a very, very paranoid person, and my friends know, they call me a hypochondriac. So for me to do something invasive is like really, really scary. And I mean, it'll take me a lot to do something like that. Hats off to Neelam, she did it, and she's looking great, But for me, I have to find something alternate for myself because I cannot do something invasive. So this is something I tried, and I enjoyed it, and I feel great. I think that's the most important. You could be looking your best, and if you're not feeling good, it's of no use, So you have to feel good, and that is the most important thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Now, Maheep, coming back to you, you're quite animated, you're very real, very emotional, and you also very confidently spoke about how when Sanjay was going through a pretty low phase, you spoke about that, but not in so much detail. When that phase was happening in your life, how did you deal with it?
Honestly, I've said this on the show, I think also, but it was all up to Sanjay, how he was going to make it. If he was going to bring the stress back home, was he going to bring the tension back home? He never did. He was always positive about things. He was always upbeat about things. And that's the way our home has been. We leave our stresses outside, for the environment for my children is very important. That, they understand, we talk about it, we have long conversations about it. So my kids are not deluded completely that, this is the industry. So contrary to what people think, that, oh, it's easy for them. We have laid it out on the table always, Sanjay and me. So that's very important. And I've also said this before, success is very relative. We can't all be Shah Rukh Khan. So for me, I've always thought that I'm very successful. I've always had what I wanted. I'm blessed with so much. God has been so kind. So quite frankly, I think I'm very successful. But Sanjay never brought it home. So honestly, it was on his shoulders, and he just never let us feel it.
Now, Seema, over to you. This show, it's come at a time where, of course, the pandemic is hitting us. The digital world is just absolutely crazy. It's on another level. Do you feel in some way or another that this show has possibly just changed the way society thinks and maybe sees women in general and wives in general?
So look, I'd like to think that that's what we did. I mean, from the feedback we're getting. So this show was, when we made the show, sorry, can you repeat your question? Sorry.
That's okay. Do you feel that this show has changed the way society perceives women in general?
I don't know about women in general, of course, but women from Bollywood for sure. Wives from Bollywood, the misconception that we don't have the same regular, normal, mundane lives that other women have, that's not true. We do. I mean, we've showed it. We have our highs, we have our lows. I mean, we feel the pain as well. I mean, even though we're, it's not all glamour. We also have our highs and lows. We also do the same regular stuff the other women do. We go to the market, we multitask, we look after the kids, we look after the home. And for being a woman, I mean, every woman knows out there that multitasking is something that women do really well. So from that perspective, I think, the judgment and the way that the people perceive Bollywood wives or the wives from the industry, I think that has changed. And I think that's the best part of the show, because the entire show, it's all us. It's real. Nothing is scripted. Nothing is, there's no pretense, because you can only pretend for that long. So in that way, I think definitely, even the women out there, they forget that, life kind of gets in the way and you get consumed by your everyday, mundane stuff. You don't take time out for yourself. So a lot of women have reached out and said, you know what, I bonded with my girlfriends. I wasn't doing it. I put it on a back burner. And I feel like now I need to connect with my friends and we need to take this time out. So I think in that sense, it really connected with the women.
And talking of which, actually, that trip to Doha, oh my God, my husband, I'm like, can we please go to Doha now? And can we please stay in that same hotel? So it's so beautiful. I mean, Doha looks stunning. It looked really nice. But that holiday was really okay, firstly, we haven't been on holiday for the entire year. And then we see this Doha in this show. I was like, oh my God, we need to do this at some point or the other. But Neelam, coming over to you, we're so excited to see you back on the screen and, your future projects. You spoke about possibly doing something. Have you zeroed in and homed in on anything as of yet that we can look forward to?
No, I haven't been approached as yet. Like I discussed on the show, I've been offered roles which are really not cut out for me. So now here's the thing, even if I do get something, that's why this discussion that I've had with so many people, and even if I do get something, of course, if the role is right, and secondly, I think I've just got to be in the right space. Do I really want to get into it, not get into it? It's a big question mark. So yeah, I mean, definitely if something great comes my way, I might just consider it. But you see, it comes with a whole lot of other things. It's a huge responsibility. Once you sign up for something, you got to give it that time. And my daughter's so young. Yeah, it's just very time consuming. So let's see.
Oh, we'd love to see you back. Can't wait for it. Now, I think just a general comment. I know, of course, the show is about you four, but I don't know if anybody has said this, but I think the husbands equally, all of them have played a really, really strong part. And I think they all have come across so supportive, so supportive. So I think a big congratulations to all the husbands as well, who have been really, really good. Although they weren't so prominent in the show as you guys, but they were really, really lovely. Now, my final question, and again, I know you've probably been asked this, but is there going to be a season 2 of this?
Fingers crossed.
Well, I hope so. I really, really hope so. But Steve, thank you so much for taking the time out. This is a long time pending, as Seema would not have been messaging her, be like, can we please do this? But you guys were really good. No, that's fine. You guys were wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I just want to say, keep it real. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Anushka.
Thank you.
Anushka.
Take care.
Bye.
See you.
Take care.